In-space missions provides access to space for our customers. We can do that in a number of different ways. We either do it by building satellites for them or by co-hosting lots of payloads on one satellite, or we even do uploadable payloads on satellites, so we can upload software onto our satellite, completely reconfigure it in orbit, and this allows our customers, instead of taking years to get something in orbit, to do it in weeks or days even. We're here at the show to meet a whole bunch of new customers. This show is fantastic for that. We tend to get a lot of footfall past our stand where people will come in, they talk to us about their requirements, and we find quite often, even if they didn't expect it, that they'll find a good match to what we offer. We also like coming here to talk to the supply chain. So what we're seeing at every new show is that we come to in Bremen, that there's a whole bunch of new suppliers that we haven't met before who have some really interesting technology that enables our business. Our experience at the show so far has been really positive. It's been great, first of all, to have everyone back together after the pandemic. You know, people are really engaging. We've seen a pretty full show this year. And the number of new technologies and number of new companies that have appeared since the last time we all got together is phenomenal. You know, we've seen this on, you track it on LinkedIn, on social media, you see it on the websites, but actually to see these companies that you've been hearing about, who've had these fantastic VC raises that have really grown their businesses, who've turned up here today and this week with just amazing new pieces of technology and amazing new businesses. It's just great to get back together and see these people. Space Tech Expo Europe is really important for the industry because it allows us to get together. It provides a common place, a place that you can't really achieve virtually. And prior to the pandemic, we all kind of believed that we needed to physically be together to know what was going on, but people always thought, maybe this isn't the best way to do it, getting in aeroplanes, getting on trains, moving across the world to get together. What we discovered actually is over the last 2 years that trying to do everything virtually hasn't worked as well as we'd hoped. The serendipitous relationships that you might build up, people bumping into people, conversations over a coffee that just wouldn't spontaneously happen in a virtual environment haven't happened. So coming together as Space Tech Expo Europe has just been phenomenal for that. If we look to the next decade and where the industry will be, I think it's a really exciting time. We're clearly growing quickly, and the fact that we grew through the pandemic is a real pointer to the fact our sector is healthy. It's super healthy. When I joined the space sector in the 90s, it was actually in the doldrums. We were starting to peter out. The sector was full of old men. At the time I was a young guy in my early 20s, and there were all these guys in their 50s and 60s who'd worked on shuttle programs, who'd worked in the US with NASA, who'd worked on early UK programs that had been cancelled, and they would come and talk to you at the end of the day and say, oh dear, it's terrible, bad luck, you're in the space sector at a terrible time. If I look at it now, it's nothing like that. The demographic, if you look around in this expo, is so much younger, and there is so much enthusiasm, and there is an appetite not only to build new services from space and to grow space companies, but also to bring investment in, to reach out into other sectors, whereas space used to be a niche, almost a science experiment kind of place to work. It's now a business, and with that comes the money and the enthusiasm and the ability to create some truly amazing things. So the space sector in the next 10 years, I think, is going to be as it is today, but just so much more so.